What's going on, guys? My name is Lieben and I'm finally back with another mod for my 350Z. And actually this was not going to be any like cosmetic or performance mod. It's actually not really even a mod at all. It's just a way to keep my car secure. The way I see it, since I'm investing so much money into this car, I would like to keep it as safe as possible too. And if anything happens, well, I would like to have it recorded for security reasons. So today I'm going to be installing this Thinkware Dash Cam along with a external battery too, just so it can keep recording longer. So yeah, let's get to it. First off, what I did is I just went ahead and just cleaned the spot where I was gonna install the dash camera. And now we can go ahead and open this up. Right here is the dash camera, and if you guys can see on the box here, it's the FA200. I actually bought this camera probably over a year ago, and I've just not gotten around to installing it. And I thought, right now that it's actually sunny and I have some time, let's go ahead and give this a shot. So inside the box, on top here, you see the dash cam. There's some instructions right here, and then further down here is all the installation hardware. We got some wiring here, and I actually got the package with the rear facing camera, so I will be installing that as well. We have the cable that actually goes from the front camera to the rear facing camera. It comes with a SD card and a micro SD card. Well, the SD is just an adapter. And then here is the mounting hardware. And it just has some extra double-sided tapes. This right here, I believe it said it was just to hold the wiring in place. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so I'm going to be installing the dash cam right underneath the rear view mirror. So I will just go ahead and take the protecting film off. Alright, I'm just aligning it right here. Make sure it's centered. I'm just going to push up. Make sure it gets good. Actually, it might take the camera off. Alright, so that seems to be holding into place there really good. So now just go ahead and slide the camera back in here. Alright, and there's actually a little screw in here to actually tighten it in place. Once I'm finished installing this, I can always go back on my phone and make sure it's actually installed and actually has a good view. But for right now, that's as good as it's gonna get. So now we can go ahead and move on to the wiring. Here we have the wiring. I would be using these three and basically connecting them to a fuse if I was just installing the dash cam directly into the fuse box of the car. But because I have the external hard drive, I'm actually going to be connecting these to the wirings that come with the hard drive. For that, I'm going to go into my garage, and I'm actually going to try to solder the ends of the wires together, just so we can have more secure contact on there. Thinkware does sell two different kinds of wiring. This one right here I got because it connects straight to the car and actually lets you have parking mode. So when you're actually outside of the car and the car's turned off, it'll still continue to record. As if you want to have one like this one with the car port, they do sell that as well, but just know that with that it'll only be recording, I believe, when you're driving and not when the car's turned off. I did buy all this stuff with my own money. This video is not sponsored. I just really thought that the product that Thinkware has, it seemed pretty cool, and from what I had seen, it was really reliable. So I decided to go with Thinkware. Okay, so this right here is what I was talking about. This is the external battery pack. And if I open this up here, you'll see that there's actually another wire here, which actually this is the wire that goes connected to the wire that comes with the dash cam. As you can see, it has all the same 3 wires right here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually just cut the covers off, and I have right here some of these ends. So those are going to be the ones that I'm going to be using, and just to make sure they're actually secure on there, I'm going to try to just do one little point of solder just so they can be on there more securely tight. Hopefully that goes well. I've never really soldered, so I mean, it's the first time for me, so let's go ahead and try this out. So here I have the 3 wires and my state-of-the-art tool right here, so I will go ahead and strip these wires. Okay, so right here I have the 3 wires, and what I also do is I like to twist them. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I always feel like that makes it more sturdier. Then each individual wire doesn't like move on its own and then eventually snap off. So now that I have this side done, I will just go ahead and do it with this here. And this side that comes with the actual dash cam, the ground has this end right here. I'll try to just take it off so I can go ahead and connect it to the other side. But what's good about this, it's that these ones right here already come pre-cut, so I can just actually just go ahead and take it off like that. Okay, so here are all 3 of the other side. I ended up just cutting this off of the ground wire and then just stripped off a new piece. If you can see right there, I wasn't able to actually take this off. I didn't see any other way to take this off, so just went ahead and did it the easier way. And now the next part that I'm going to do is just put these on here and crimp them down. Alright, so hopefully you guys can kind of see that. I went ahead and crimped it. It seems like it's actually holding it into place. But like I said, over time I don't want this to come undone and actually have a false connection or not a good connection. So I will go ahead and go back through all of these and solder them. And this one off screen actually just slid out. So that's what I mean. I really don't trust these just by being crimped on that they will stay on there. Which is why now that I have all 3 of them like this, I can go ahead and solder the ends of them right, let's see, right there where it's sticking out. Hopefully the camera can focus on that. But yeah, let's go ahead and try that. So this is the part right here that kind of gets me nervous just because I've never done this. And there we have the finished product. I think it doesn't look that bad. I hope the other side can still actually slide in and the solder doesn't actually bump into it, doesn't let it go connect all the way through. But to be honest, I don't know what a good solder is supposed to look like, but that doesn't look that bad to me. So now we'll continue on with the rest of them. Here is the second one. Honestly, that one didn't turn out as nice as the first one, but I mean, it's still on there. And here is the final wire of the first connector. So now I'm basically just going to repeat everything all over with this other connector, and then we can go ahead and head out back to my car. Alright guys, so here we have those 3 ends right there that have been soldered, and then right there scattered I have all the other 3 sides. They didn't turn out that bad. So now I've gone ahead and connected this end to the dash cam, and I'm going to go ahead and run the wire, the connector, around the headliner right here, then down here through this pillar. Eventually we want to make our way down to right here, if you guys can see the footrest, because the fuse box is actually right up above it. So yeah, I'll go ahead and tuck it in right now. Alright guys, so I decided to change my mind. So I still went up through here through the headliner, but instead of going down through there, I actually kept on going right here behind this headliner right here, and then I went down right here to where I am currently, which is right there. What I did is I pulled up this trim off. You can see this right here actually ends right there. So I'm gonna actually loop this around here so the wire actually pops up somewhere like down here. Now the reason I did that is because I have to go and connect the battery pack. The battery pack, most likely, I don't know if I want to have it actually underneath the dash right here. or underneath the seat. But I decided to do that so I could go ahead and place it either way, and then from the battery pack be able to connect it to the fuse. So that is where I am as of right now. This part right here was pretty easy. You can just peel this back. As you can see, hopefully you guys can see right here, the wire is actually right there. You can just peel this back and tuck the wire in through there. But yeah, I'll go ahead and keep going and keep you guys posted. Alright guys, so another thing I went ahead and did just to be safe is I tied these with electrical tape just to make sure that the cover on these does not fall off. And now this step is pretty simple. You just color match them. Black goes to black, yellow to yellow, and then the red one to the red one. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. And here we have all three connections. I honestly think that they all look good. It doesn't seem like the soldering is interfering with any of them. They all seem to be all the way in connected. And now this end right here, this end right here is gonna go connected to the battery pack. So let me go ahead and get that. One of the cool things about this battery pack is actually that it comes with these Velcro sticky tapes that we can actually put on the back side of the battery pack. I tried to see if the rough side, this one here, would stick just to the carpet without needing the other one, but unfortunately no, it doesn't. So it does seem that we'll need to see, hopefully this one sticks to the carpet so that it can stick like that. But now I'll go ahead and stick this top side onto the battery pack. There we have it, Velcro on both of those sides, and now I just have to align those in the carpet, and hopefully they align with this one so it stays stuck. Actually, you know what I just thought, guys, is I can go ahead and just stick that to this with the sticky protector, the white part film taken off, so then when I just sit this down, it'll be in the position where it has to be. Then I just have to put some pressure on it, on the Velcro, not on this, so that it sits there more securely. This is what I was talking about, guys. So now I'll just go ahead and peel this off on each side. Then we go back here, find a good spot, make sure it's clean. And then we just press it down a little bit on here just to make sure it sticks a little bit. One of the things to check before putting this on there, the sticky side on the carpet, and permanently leaving it there, is make sure that you can slide your seat frontwards and backwards without hitting it. I forgot to do that. Luckily I just checked and it doesn't seem to be hitting it, so I lucked out on that side, on that part. But yeah, you guys should definitely make sure, especially with seats like this one that are actually really close to the carpet. I don't know how it's not hitting there, but thank goodness. So now we'll go ahead and just connect this side to the battery pack. I went ahead and connected it to the battery pack, but I am thinking now, actually, when I connected the subwoofer that is actually back here, sorry that this is all dirty right now, but when I had and connected the subwoofer that was back here, I actually went through there for the volume regulator that's actually inside my glove compartment. But what I'm thinking about doing is actually I'm going to disconnect it from there and run it through in here so it can actually come out through here, because I don't like how, because these are bright colors, they're really noticeable, so I'd rather hide them more further back there. But it is getting dark out today, so I will have to continue this tomorrow, so I'll go ahead and see you guys tomorrow when it's more bright outside. See you guys. Alright, what's going on, guys? It's the next day, and now, like I said, I'm gonna start by taking off this plastic cover to go ahead and move the wire along over there to that side. I have a trim tool remover right here I'll go ahead and use. If I remember, it's just like clips that are holding it on, hopefully. And it's just as easy as that. Go ahead and put this back here. Alright, so I'm going to have to see how I can go ahead and get this wire through here. I remember when I was putting in the subwoofer. Oh wow, that's dirty. When I was putting in the subwoofer, I actually had to take all of this off, and this right here as well. I'm not trying to do that right now, so I'll see if I can squeeze the wire in somewhere through here. Alright, I'll go ahead and show you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and feed the wire through that opening right there. That's where I have the wire for the amp as well. So that will be coming in through this side right here. And I'll go ahead and run it along here and see if I can get it to come out somewhere through there. Alright guys, and as you guys can see, I was able to fit the whole wire through that hole right there. Even this part right here, which is the thickest part of the wire, so that's good. So now I'm just gonna end up feeding the wire through right here and have it coming down to the battery pack, and all of the excess wire I'm actually just gonna wind up kind of like how I have these two, and I'm just gonna leave them in here. And there we have it, guys. I have it running through here. I tied it up right there, and then it's coming along through here and where we put it in through. Now I know this is not most likely not the best way to do it, but I think it's gonna work out for me, for I guess how I wanted to do it. And I actually liked how it turned out, because right here it's actually not even tight, so I don't think there will be any chafing right there, which is good. But now that we have it connected up to the battery pack, now it's time to find how we get the wiring from the battery pack over to the fuse. Alright, so I've looked it over and it seems like I have two options. I can either run it back this way and down through here, I just take off this trim, or I can go back and actually tuck it in through there, go through the front here, and then right there just loop it over right here, and then down to the fuse box right there. And I think that's actually going to be the way that I'm going to go, just so I don't have another wire, like I said, coming in through here. Everything just stays on that side. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get that figured out here. Okay, and there we have it, guys. I went ahead and fed the other wire in through there, and now it is poking out right here, so I just need to finish feeding it over here and then putting the fuse in as well. So the battery pack actually comes with some fuse tappers, and I went ahead and located which one was the one from my car. All I did basically was take out one of the fuses from the car to see which one actually fit on, and it's actually this one. So now I have to go ahead and crimp this onto the wire right here, and then I can go ahead and tap into the fuse box, just like so. So now I'm actually reading the diagram for the fuse box, and I see that there's actually 4 fuse locations that aren't being used. I went ahead and tested all of them, because like how I understand is that the battery pack is only going to be receiving a charge from the car when it's on, and then when it's off, it'll cut off the power and the camera will just be getting power from the battery. So now I took a look at this one and I used a test light. So when the car was off, that one didn't light up, but then when I turned the car on, I didn't start it, I just turned it on, the test light would light up. So from what I understand is that means that when the car is on the on position or turned on, the fuse is working, and then when it's off, the fuse isn't working. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the fuse tap on that one right there. Okay guys, so I'll go ahead and try to show you here in the fuse box where it's located. It's really uncomfortable because it's such a small car, but let's see here. Move some of the wires out of the way, and that right there is where I placed the fuse tap, and I just fed it through on top right there. And now what I'm thinking is actually that bolt right there from the back side is where I'm gonna go ahead and ground it, and then I'll just use a nut to hold it in place. If there's one thing I can tell you when routing wire, is that there is a lot of trial and error. So I was not able to put the ground wire where I said I wanted to put it in that bolt. I actually had to wire it in that one over there, which is a little less than ideal, but I mean, hopefully that'll do. And the other thing that I did is actually right here, I took the wire and went over this, which is the steering shaft, I believe it's called. So I just did that so it wouldn't be dangling, just more secure up there. And I don't believe that housing turns. It's what's inside that turns, so we should be safe from any rubbing on the wire. But yeah, I went ahead and closed the box, or the cover of the fuse box, and ran it through there. So now the last thing I have to do for this wire right here, basically just fix it a little bit so it looks nice and it's not just dangling there. I will go ahead and do that, and then we can go ahead and start connecting the back or the rear facing camera. Alright guys, so we're slowly but surely moving along. So now the next step is to go ahead and install the rear facing camera. It also just has some double-sided tape where you go ahead and just tape it or stick it to the back window right there. I'll see if I can go ahead and do it here from the inside so I can better center it. I'll go ahead and try that right now. I will say taking off that film from that double-sided tape is a pain, but hopefully that means that it will stick on there good and permanently, basically. So now I just have to line it up. Hopefully I can get it here as close as possible to the center. And actually, before I do that, I forgot I need to go ahead and clean to make sure it has a good surface contact. Okay, yeah, I say that's pretty good. That's pretty in the center. One of the cool things also about that one is that it actually, you can rotate it. So let's say right now if it's pointing too high up, I can always point it down or up. Not to the sides though, so that's why it's pretty important to have it there in the middle. But now I can go ahead and connect that wire, and the wire that goes connected, I believe it's on this side here, actually just runs to the front camera. So I will go ahead and do that. Thank goodness they have the sides of these wires also labeled, so I know that the other side right there says front, so this is the one that goes connected to the back camera. Just gotta find where. It's right here. There we go, that's secure. And now the only thing is, because the Z is has like the whole window goes up, I have to leave enough slack right here so when I open it, it doesn't yank this. Besides that, I don't see any problems arising. I am going to go ahead and actually route this wire through the passenger side, just because I already have so many wires with the amp and now with the camera coming through the driver's side. So I think it would just be easier, so it's not so clustered and wires get tangled up. So I'll go ahead and go this way. Okay, so I've gone ahead and opened the trunk, the hatch, so I can have a better view of how I'm going to tuck it in right here. Oh, it seems to be pretty easy. And now I know how much slack to give this to as well. And now I can go ahead and move up to the front. And that's actually looking pretty good. Okay guys, so I was already halfway through feeding the wire when I realized that if I started from the back, and went to the front camera over here. Where the heck was I supposed to hide the remaining wire? There's like no space up here. So then what I decided to do was I took it off from the back there and actually fed it from up here first, and then fed it down through this way, back here, through there. And now I feel like right here I have more options of what I can do with all this excess wire. I might just end up honestly just feeding it all through there, probably tying it up with a zip tie or something, and then just feeding it back through there. And there we have it. I was able to tuck in all the wire inside the headliner. So now I can go ahead and close this and see how it looks from the inside. And honestly, that's not bad. It's not really covering anything. I mean, it's a small camera. The wire isn't just hanging everywhere, so that's pretty cool too. So now I still have some small little touch-up things that I need to do. I need to go back and actually cover the connectors that I soldered. I'm just gonna go ahead and cover them with electrical tape just so they don't come into contact with each other and damage the battery or the camera or the car. That would be worst case scenario. So I have to go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and turn on the battery pack. I can show you guys that here real quick. I believe if everything is connected correctly, it should turn on. But I just realized that I don't want to turn it on because I don't want any electric current going through, just because, like I said, those connectors that are still just bare metal. So I'll go ahead and do that here real quick. So it is getting dark out, but I hope you guys can see this. This is what I was talking about right here. I didn't want any of the connectors right here touching against each other because they're so close. So I just went ahead and put some electrical tape around them. Now that should be a lot more safe. I can go ahead and put the cover back on here. There we go. Alright, and now I'll go ahead and see if I can turn this on. From the instructions, it said if you were hardwiring it to the car, you would set it on high, and if you were using the car port, the cigarette lighter port, whatever it's called, you would put it on low. So let me find which way it is to high. Okay, it's this way here. Oh, and it seems it turned on for a second there. I don't know if that's good or not that it turned back off. Maybe it's probably dead too. Just because, I mean, obviously the battery pack hasn't been charged probably in a long time. So I'll go ahead and turn the car on and see if the light turns on. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn it on and we can go ahead and see. So it turned on. That's a good sign. Let's see here. That is still off. You guys probably won't be able to see it, but there's a status and a Wi-Fi light, and neither of those two are on. Maybe if I just press record. I do know it comes with an app too, and I'll have to mess with that too to set it up. I just want to make sure everything turns on. And I did forget to actually put the SD card in there. I'll see if I can do that right now. Okay, so the SD card actually goes down there. Don't try to put it right here in this slot where I was trying to force it in. Hopefully I didn't damage it, but yeah, it goes right there. So now we'll continue trying to see if this turns on. So I guess I'll just have to play with the app here for a little while. Don't know if it's getting power. Let me go ahead and check the battery pack. Okay, so that's good. So there's at least power getting to the battery pack. So now I just have to figure out how to get the camera going. Alright guys, so it's day number 3. I wasn't able to get everything figured out yesterday. It was getting dark, so I wasn't really even able to see. But now I am back. I opened up back the lid to this compartment back here, and I did something really really dumb. Make sure when you connect these to actually do it to the right connection. I had the red wire to the ground and vice versa. I haven't checked to see if that damaged the dash cam. I hope it doesn't. I'm hoping now that I fixed everything up. I checked the fuses that were in there. They all looked fine. So then I decided just to follow the wires, and I noticed that I did something very dumb. So yeah, so now hopefully when I turn the car on, everything will power on. Either that or I just fried my dash cam before I ever even got to use it. So let's go ahead and check that out right now. Alright, so as of right now, I still don't see anything turning on. Let's see if I press both of those buttons and reboot it. Let's see if I turn it on, what happens. Okay guys, so if you can see now, the status light is actually green, so it finally got power. So I think what it was actually was that the battery pack just needed some charging, and now that it has a little charge, it can send a charge to the camera. I didn't touch anything, so I think I just need a couple of minutes. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video. I'm gonna play around a little bit more with the app and see if I can work with some of the settings, and my next video might be actually me just driving around and testing the quality of the camera. But yeah, I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one.